The Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hello, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council. Today I have with me one of the most creative men I've ever known, and you probably recognize him. If you don't, I don't know where you've been, because this is Joe Miller, the inimitable Joe Miller. I've called you many times.
Thank you.
You are an icon in this community for a lot of reasons. First off, because of Boone Drug and your role in the Boone Drug, especially downtown, because of the ballroom and all the other things related to that. And then because as time went on, Joe created a huge business in this community called Cheap Joe's Art Stuff, which is known internationally. But the reason I have him with me today is because that Joe is one of our staunchest supporters, and we want to thank him and Cheap Joe's for the many, 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 many years that you have been right beside us, helping us along the way. And one of the ways you've done that, you do it a lot of ways, but one of the ways that you've done that is supporting our galleries for, you and I were trying to figure out how many years. It's been a lot of years.
A long time.
So we have, at the moment, we are in the Jones House Community Center, and we have 3 galleries there, and Cheap Joe's has sponsored those galleries. And what triggered today's interview was really the fact that we had an exhibit in the Open Door Gallery that just at the last moment didn't work out. And so I happened to be with Joe's son, Joseph, and said, do you know an artist that would be able to fill in right quick because we got a spot? And he said, oh, we can help you out. We have a collection. Well, tell me about this collection, Joe. This was amazing to me. We were at the warehouse behind the Cheap Joe's offices, and they opened up these cabinets, and there's this amazing array of paintings that just blows my mind. Why do you have those?
Oh my goodness. Well, it just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It really just happened years ago when we started doing workshops,
Mm-hmm.
which has probably been, I'm going to guess, close to 25 years ago. We did the
Wow.
first workshop in the Jones House.
Did you?
We did. I'll have to, I don't know how much time I have.
Go ahead.
I have to be careful. When I did the very first workshop, Noyes Long,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a professor at the University of Alabama named Hugh Williams,
Mm-hmm.
and he invited Hugh to come teach for me. Hugh taught for me, and Noyes taught, and we did it in the Jones House when it was still just, Maisie had just given it to the town, so it was
Right.
pretty rugged.
Mm-hmm. It was.
It
rugged
was.
when I got there.
Yeah. And I don't remember how many students we had, but it had to be like 10 in each class.
Wow.
And it was very successful. It was so much fun. It was straight across the street from the drugstore.
Uh-huh.
I had just put in art supplies, so it kind of drove the sales of art supplies.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of the workshop. Before Hugh Williams left, he gave me a painting. And I was so proud of it. It's a small one. I still have it, of course. You saw it. Well, you didn't see the painting maybe, but it's in that cabinet.
Somewhere in that cabinet there was a painting, yes.
And of course, Noyes Long had given me some paintings. So that was the very first pieces. And then the next instructor I had would probably have been a fellow named Skip Lawrence, who became a friend, still teaches for us. And Skip gave me a painting or two. And the first thing you know, I have a collection of art that these people have either given me or we've traded for
Wow.
them.
And some of them are very well-known artists.
We have some. We have a small Jamie Wyeth painting, which we're very, very
Right.
proud of, and it's not in that cabinet.
It's in a special place.
It's in a special place, and but we have some other artists, several artists who are in museums like the Met.
Wow.
We have a fellow named Milfred Zorn. We have a couple of his paintings, and he's already in museums around the world. So we really do have a really nice collection of art.
That's amazing.
That's just kind of happened, and some of it I've traded art material for, some I have purchased. An awfully lot of it I've traded for. I'd trade one of my paintings for theirs. So it just happened.
Well, I don't know how many you had, but it was a lot
We have quite a few.
of paintings.
Yes,
and,
we do.
The really, I asked, I think, Joseph, what in the world do you do with these paintings besides store them in a cabinet? And he said you rotate them and you exhibit them in your offices, you know, which is really neat. But we have a few of them. I think we've got about 8 or 9 of them, something like that, on display in the Open Door Gallery, and they were handpicked by Joe and Joseph to be in that space. And it's a great way for us to celebrate the relationship that we've had all these years with this wonderful business, and to kind of salute them and say we really appreciate all y'all have done all these years for us.
Well, that's very kind, Cherry, and I sure appreciate that. It makes me feel good. But we appreciate what you do, and we really, I tell people, we're not just in the business of art, we're immersed in the arts.
You are?
We are, and we love the arts. We think the arts are not only satisfying, we think arts are healing.
You're so right.
Yeah, we think arts are healing, and so we have a very, very deep connection to you, to what you've done. What you've done in this little community with arts it's fantastic.
Thank you.
And we applaud you.
Well, thank
so we also know that I have a really good friend named Don Andrews, and you have one of his paintings in that collection that we gave you. Don's from Alabama, a well-known watercolor artist. And Don has a saying, Don will do something nice for me and I'll thank him, and he'll say, one hand washes the other.
You're right. You're right.
So that's been my connection with you and with the Jones House. We've washed each other's hands.
That's true. And your connections go way back, because in our articles of incorporation, there's a name on that list, and it's yours.
Yes. Yes.
So you helped originate this Arts Council back in 1981.
Yeah.
And I know you had a key role in getting the Jones House arranged for the Jones House for the Arts Council at that point in history.
I did. Dr. Wilson was mayor at that time, and I was a pharmacist at Deerfield Pharmacy, who was next door to Dr. Wilson.
Yeah.
And I'd go out the back door and down to his office and sit there and wait. I say, Doc, we got to have that Jones House. We've got to have it.
We've got to work it out.
And as a boy, I worked in the drugstore in the summertime at Boone Drug in high school. And part of my job was to walk in town and deliver medicine. One of the places I went often was the Jones House.
Miss Maddie.
And Miss Maddie Jones, and she scared me to death.
I've heard she was a little intimidating.
Oh my goodness, I was so afraid to go over there. But I'd go and give it to her and get her money. It was like 50 cents for a prescription then. I don't remember how much, but it wasn't much. But I didn't like going over there.
That's amazing.
And then I became a pharmacist, and the Jones, she died, of course, and her daughter was a friend of mine. Had been to the drugstore many times, and so we began the process, and it just worked. So it's been a great place, I think.
It has been. It has
for the
been.
Jones House.
And you know, all good things come to an end, and you move on to bigger and better.
Right.
And so the Arts Council, as everyone already knows, is moving on to bigger and better. We don't quite know where that is yet, but we'll figure it out.
We'll get it.
So we got good friends to help us.
Yeah, we'll
help.
help.
And if you've got a good suggestion, we'd love to hear it. But at any rate, it's time to move on to the next phase of our existence.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be bigger and better and stronger as a result, and we're excited about it.
You bet.
And if it weren't for our good friends, I don't think we'd be able to do all this.
No.
So we really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Well, we thank you. We're going to continue to be your partner in this in any way we can.
We thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And we hope that every business out there in this community recognizes that whether you're in the arts or not, the arts do bring a lot of wonderful things to this community, and provide, you know, Joe obviously is in the arts business, but actually his clientele's primarily not in this area. I mean, you do have clients in this area.
We do.
But your bigger bulk of clients are elsewhere. So you're not doing this to get clients per se. You're doing this because of what you believe in.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so I want to encourage other businesses in the community to support the arts because they add so much to the quality of life that makes Boone and Watauga County such a wonderful place to exist.
I agree.
And so, and as an artist yourself, you were telling me that you're going through a creative spurt.
Yes. I go like this, you know, with my creativity, and
yeah.
I guess all artists do
They
that.
They do. My experience with them
Yeah.
is that they have their ups and their downs and how creative they feel, you know, and what else is going on in their lives and whatever else.
Yep.
So I'm glad to hear that. I'm looking forward to seeing some cool stuff.
All right. Yeah.
All right. We'll have to do an exhibit in our new location.
Yeah.
Work.
I'd love that.
I think that'd be fantastic.
It would be.
Well, stay in touch with the Arts Council. There's lots of wonderful things coming our way and coming your way. And we hope that you will be a big part of everything that's coming up. Check our website, watauga-arts.org, for this and so much more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.